Hi everybody! Today I'm going to show you how to make a box out of paper to draw your pot design on in case you could not get your clay to work but you tried really hard. I know there were several people who tried really hard to get their clay to work and they just couldn't. So if you've tried really hard and you've sent me pictures or videos of you trying to make your clay, you can do this as an option and I will still give you full credit for it. But you need to send me videos or pictures in our assignment of you trying to make your clay first. All right, here is our paper box that we are going to learn how to make, and you can see I've already drawn my same cat design onto it, so you can still do the assignment with this paper box. Materials you are going to need are a piece of paper, just a white piece of paper. This is printer paper, but you can use any color you want. Going to need a pencil and scissors, and that's it. Okay, let's get started. First thing you're going to do is turn your paper into a square. Right now it's a rectangle, so we need to make it into a square. There's a really easy way to do that if you don't already have square paper. You can fold up one corner and have it line up along the top edge. Crease it. You don't need to crease it really tightly because we're going to open it up again. And then you can cut along the edge where this side of your paper hits the big paper. If that is a little tricky and you don't want to cut your other paper or your other half of the paper, you can draw a line along the edge, open it up, and cut it that way too. So we're going to cut our paper into a square because origami, which is a Japanese paper folding technique, is always done starting with a square piece of paper. Okay, and that way we're going to get a square box too. So now we have our square piece of paper. We want to turn our paper over and lightly do what's called reversing the fold, which means that we're going to lightly fold it in half again so that our fold isn't quite as visible. Okay, so now I have my square piece of paper with kind of an invisible fold right here. First thing you're going to do is to fold your paper in half. So we're not folding it diagonally like a taco, we're folding it in half so that the top and bottom edge meet. And this time we're going to really crease it. So you can use your fingernail or you can use the back of your scissors if, like me, you bite your fingernails. There we go, so now we have a nice fold. Open it up. And so here it is like a rectangle. Open it up and now fold it in half the other direction so the bottom touches the top. Again, line up the top and bottom edges really well and make sure that that fold is really tight, that crease is tight. Okay, now when you open it up, you have a cross down the middle. Okay, let's turn it over so that it is like a mountain top. That means that the folds go up like this instead of down like this into a valley. So when I say a mountain fold, I mean that the folds are making the paper kind of come off the table a little bit. This is a valley where it's going down, and this is a mountain where it's coming up. So I have my mountain peak in the top. Now we're going to take each corner of the paper, doesn't matter which one you start with, and you're going to fold it to meet the center. Be really careful when you're lining up with the center point, because each one of these corners is going to fold into the center, and if they aren't lined up well, then you're going to get some wacky folds in there. Okay, so I've got two done now. You can see how over here I didn't get mine quite lined up as well, so I can undo it and just kind of force the paper to be a little bit more flat like I want it to. All right, last one. So now we have a square where each of our corners are in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to go through and make sure that all of my folds are really tight. Just using my fingernail here to reinforce or tighten up those folds. All right. Next thing is to fold your paper like 2 double doors. We're folding it in like this. The right and left edges of your paper are going to fold to meet this middle point. So I'm folding to meet the middle point and then lining my top and bottom up really well. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and this time I have the other side to line it up against. So it's a little bit easier the second time. So now I have double doors that open up. Those are called French doors. Emphasizing my crease. Okay, turn it so that it's a long rectangle and fold the short sides to the middle. One way we can do this is by folding it in half first, lightly creasing it, and now I have a middle line running down here. So again, I did that by folding the left side or the right side over to meet the left side and lightly just pushing it a little bit so that I get a little mark. I didn't fold it completely and make it really tight, because now I'm going to fold my right side. As our paper gets thicker, it gets a little bit harder to that middle point. So I'll mark mine with pencil so that you can see my middle point. But you don't have to mark yours with pencil. So now I'm folding my right side over to meet that line in the middle. Same thing on this other end. So now I have a square that has my French double doors. Okay, really make sure that you crease those lines well. Now we're going to open it up. So open up step 1 so that you have a rectangle again. Then open up another step back. So now we have this cute diamond in the middle, cute square diamond in the middle. And now we're going to open up one side by pulling on the triangle and pulling it up. And you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So I still have 2 sides that are together in the middle, and then I have these 2 sides that are pointing up. Okay, this is probably the trickiest part, so I'll do it a couple times. I have my shape so that it's long ways in front of me, not like this, but like this. I'm going to fold up. My folds really just want to fold on their own. They want to fold. So I'm going to fold up this bottom portion so that it sticks straight up. Now if I look right here, you can see that I have a diagonal line that's running from corner to corner right here. I'm going to push that corner, or push that diagonal line in. It wants to go in. I'm folding this corner up to meet this corner up here, and it wants to do it all by itself. I'm not having to tell it to do it. Then I'm going to pinch carefully together, and I have one side of my box. I'm going to do the other side the same way. So I'm folding this corner to meet this corner, and my diagonal line just wants to go back. All right. There's the other corner of my box. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It's okay if it splays open just a little bit for now. Fold up the bottom edge, so I turned it. This part's facing up. That's the side I've already done. Fold the bottom edge up. Find my diagonal line. Fold the bottom corner to meet the top corner while pushing the diagonal line back in space. It wants to do it on its own. I'm going to make sure that that crease is nice and tight. And same thing on the other side. Diagonal line, bottom corner to top corner, push the diagonal line in as you go. And fold it up in space. Now, my shape looks like this, where I've got some funny triangles pointing up and these triangles pointing to the side. Now turn it so that it's short ways in front of you. And I'm going to just kind of push those spots together. Here were the diagonal lines that I folded the corners together. Push them together, and now I have a really tall house shape. All I do now is fold where these folds want to fold. I push it forward and down and tuck it inside the box. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So here are my diagonal lines that I pushed backwards. If I pinch it together, I have a tall house. Now all I do is fold where that fold wants to fold and push it down and tuck it inside my box. Okay, now I'm going to go around and crease all of the top pieces of my box, and I might want to go around and make sure that my sides, my corners are really defined, or that you can really see them well. Now I have my box. Then I find my cat drawing from way long time ago at this point, and I draw it. You're not going to have a line here, so I'll erase my line too. Then I just draw on top of my box.